Welcome back. Let's review some of these services for study purposes. So I've organized the list according to the 5 pillars, right, that we talked about, the well-architected framework, and according to the remaining modules within as we move forward within the course. So these services do repeat as we go and move forward within this course on various disciplines within our use of AWS. So we have the Amazon Virtual Private Cloud, or the VPC, giving us the ability to create isolated networks. And of course, those networks allow us to use multiple availability zones, right? Giving rise to resilience or loss of a data center, for example. We have the AWS Direct Connect, for example, that gives us high-speed private fiber connection. We have the Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud, EC2, giving us on-demand virtual machines or instances, right? You have Amazon Route 53, which is Amazon globally distributed, very reliable DNS service, allowing us to perform a number of types of DNS routing, including failover. So we can fail over from an endpoint that is failing to an endpoint that is actually working. We also have elastic load balancers, right? So Amazon CloudWatch, which monitors the systems, right, and reports, creates logs, right, any issues that might affect the reliability itself. We also have the Amazon SQL storage, right, or S3, for example, which plays an integral role in storage data or different types of data, objects, images, you name it, it just stores everything. So these services, when used together in the right ways, help the solution architect build a reliable infrastructure, right? That I'm going to talk about, of course, in depth as subsequent lectures. And then we have Amazon Glacier. You can archive data for long-term storage in case you ever need to reach out and use the data again. So again, this group of services are used, if correctly, right, you will have a reliable system. And I'm going to talk more about each of these in depth as we move forward. For performance-related areas, we have auto-scaling. You can match the supply of resources with the current demand. So you have Amazon Elastic Block Storage, allowing you to create a highly performant storage volumes. You also have Amazon Elastic File System, for example, EFS, or VPC also, networks, which basically run, and make your application, or provide your applications the correct infrastructure. Then you have the ECS, providing you more effective utilization of resources of virtual machines. We also have CloudWatch, right, that provides you monitoring, so you're aware of the performance of your entire infrastructure. Another one, we have the RDS, Relational Database Service, allows you to offload databases to AWS, right? And then we also have the high-performance NoSQL with Amazon DynamoDB. And these services, when you use them together, can help you create a performant application. And of course, I'm going to talk about performant applications in subsequent lectures. For security, right, we have the IAM services that allow you to create and manage users' credentials. You also have the AWS Security Token Service, which creates temporary credentials. You also have IAM instance profiles, roles. You can, create policies, delegate permissions to EC2 instances. You also have AWS, organizations that allow you to, create and manage multiple accounts. So you can isolate the resources, right, according to different business units, maybe HR, marketing, regions, and so forth. You have AWS Config, which maintains a constant, and constantly evaluating the environment, checking all of your resources, the state of your environment against rules that you can specify. So you can be informed of any unauthorized, maybe unexpected changes or access, and so forth. We also have CloudWatch logs that, applications can send, and you can take a look at those, right? It stores them in a central place. So you can collect those logs, and from there, you can do a number of activities, right? and maybe create automated processes, monitor and create a secure environment. You also have the Amazon Elasticsearch service, which works hand in hand with CloudWatch logs. That gives you the powerful way, a visualized, so to speak, and you can analyze those logs by taking a look at them. And of course, lastly, we have the VPC security group, along with network access control lists and other mechanisms that you can actually use to create a secure network for the applications, the entire organization as well. Also, the key management service, right, or KMS, which allows you to encrypt your data, right, at rest, for example. So these, some of these services I'm going to talk about, of course, in later lectures as well. For cost optimization, let's talk about that. We have the Amazon CloudWatch, allows you to monitor your infrastructure, as well as your current, estimate charges. So you have the Cost Explorer, you have the dashboard, you can optimize your billing. You also have the AWS Trusted Advisor, which performs regular checks of your environment and suggests ways that you can actually improve a number of things like reliability, performance, security, and cost optimization. You also have, let's say, reserve instances, spot instances, and other types of instances as other ways of saving money and other billing models. You also have AWS Cloud Formation. You can create temporary environments, right? Design your own temporary environment that you only pay for, using that resources within that group. You also have the Cost Explorer, like I mentioned earlier, right? You can take a look at a visual graphical way of your costs and really understand where you're actually spending money on which resources. We also have billing alerts, which are pretty important. So even with an AWS free tier account, for example, make sure you set the billing alert. So that gives you the ability to get an email notification, right? So all of these collection of services, tools, and features, when used in the right way, will help you design the most effective solution. And that's the solutions architect job, right? And of course, I'm going to break all of these down into smaller pieces, gives you hands-on on all of these services and tools. Finally, we have the operational excellence. So we have the CloudFormation tool, right, that helps you automate and create and manage AWS services. You have the code commit, right? Private Git repositories. You can create the entire pipeline, right? DevOps pipeline, so to speak, that works hand in hand with code commit, code build. You have, other areas that you can really achieve operational excellence. You have AWS Lambda, right? You can create scripts, for example, to automate things. So that way your teams can focus on writing code, for example, just to create scripts or handle all of what is necessary that needs to be automated, and then actually use these scripts for other purposes such as deployment. Then again, we have config once again that helps you monitor the entire infrastructure as rules designed by you as a solutions architect, right? So that it helps you gauge what actually is going on with the entire AWS ecosystem. And once again, monitoring CloudWatch is the best way. You can take a look at these logs to collect everything. So, for example, you can have a log of who logged in, the usage of instances, and you name it. So a key component of operational excellence that, of course, I'm going to talk about later as well is being aware and being educated, continuous monitoring of your resources and tools, and continually evaluating all of these services and tools, and leveraging automation to really create an effective infrastructure. We also have the SNS, or the simple notification service that Amazon offers, right? Whatever happens, you get notified, whether it's the alert or email or whatnot, right? And that's real time. So as things change, you have the ability and you're on top of things. And last, we have the Amazon Athena, for example, that allows you to, let's say you're collecting all these logs from Amazon CloudWatch, and you have a massive amount of log data. You can then throw this into Athena and use the service. And you can query those logs, right? And then derive meaningful insights of what's going on from these logs. So when we look at the long list of services, it might seem a little overwhelming or daunting, right? But over time, as you work hands-on with these services and tools, you will definitely gain, more insight and become more confident in using these services and tools, and actually get the entire architectural concepts as well that surrounds these tools and services. And that's really the goal of the solutions architect. It'll help you not only pass the exam, but more importantly, increase your skills, abilities, your knowledge on how to design an effective architect. Wait, one of the more important things is when you go to an interview, for example. I've had students come to me and ask me lots of questions. Like they asked me this on the interview, they asked me that question on the interview. This course will definitely prepare you to answer all of the questions that companies are looking for. Enterprise organizations are actually wanting, and they're going through some of the pain points. And any organization interviewing you as a potential candidate for a job, right? They will ask you all of these pain points that actually are occurring within the organizations. So we are going to provide you all of those areas within this course as well. So I hope this helps. Just wanted to run through all of these areas to give you a better understanding moving forward. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, post in the discussion area. And with this, let's move to the next lesson.